In today's video, we have some sad news about GTA 6 and its story, and then we've also got some sorta good news coming from Take-Two Interactive about GTA 6. So, let's get into the video. Here we go, back at it yet again with another video. G'day guys, I'm Champ Chong, and YouTube doesn't seem to like me because my last video apparently didn't go into a lot of sub boxes. A lot of you guys complained about it, so if you did miss it, make sure to go check it out on my channel to make me feel a little bit better. Also, smack that like button real good because that'll make me feel a little bit better seeing all those likes. They help the actual algorithm know that people want to see my videos. It'd be greatly appreciated if you do that. That's why I ask. But anyway, enough of that self-promotion stuff. Let's get into the gaming news because we've got some news regarding Grand Theft Auto. And yes, I am wearing my GTA 5 hoodie because it is actually really comfortable and it's very cold here in Australia right now since it is winter. But the thing we have about GTA 6 is we do have some good news, which I will get to, which is regarding the release potentially, but then we've actually got some sad news, which is the first thing we are talking about right here. This actually has to do with the next Grand Theft Auto game, which is GTA 6 most likely, and the next Red Dead Redemption game. So apparently they could be potentially shorter than previous games. So the story of both games, the next GTA and the next Red Dead game, could be shorter than previous games. This is coming directly from Take-Two Interactive's CEO Strauss Zelnick. So he did have an interview and he talked about Rockstar Games and 2K, which are part of Take-Two Interactive. So Take-Two Interactive, if you don't know, is the parent company of both Rockstar Games and 2K Games. Now, the reason that the next Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead games in their respective series could be shorter is because of a few reasons, but mainly one. It's essentially that they want to add stuff into the game later down the line. They want developers to build a game and have it as the base game and then eventually add more and more DLC and more content to fill up the game and just have a great experience later down the line to keep that game alive for years, rather than giving it all at once and giving that experience in one go and then people forgetting and never playing that game again. Because that's the way things are these days. People, I should say companies, they want you to stick around with their product for as long as possible and years and years and years with a game like Grand Theft Auto. So GTA 6 could have a shorter story, but then have more online content or maybe even more story DLC in the future. Now here is a direct quote from Strauss Zelnick when he was speaking to Game Industry. It's possible that games may be a bit shorter than they were in certain instances. It's possible that the ability to deliver content on an ongoing basis for a long time after initial release of a hit would mean that perhaps the initial release wouldn't be as long in terms of numbers and hours of gameplay as previously had been demanded in a world where that was all you were getting. Now, he obviously doesn't really commit one way or the other. He doesn't give us 100% idea if they're going to make it shorter or not, but they're sort of hinting that and planting that into our heads right there so we can possibly not get too upset if the games are shorter in story from the get-go. Now, this is actually really interesting and it's something to kind of debate. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this. Would you rather, let's say, the next GTA game, GTA 6, be sort of 80% of the story of GTA 5 as in length? But then it will give you maybe another 40% later on. So you'd get like essentially 120% rather than just 100% of story. So you get more DLC story stuff, kind of like you did in GTA 4, where you had the Ballad of Gay Tony and then you had the Lost and Damned. Wow, I can't believe I remember that. I haven't played those games in years. But those two were additional games, pretty much. They were like completely new games. But imagine that as DLC that you get further down the line, and that would be really cool. But that means that at the beginning, when you do get the game initially, you are going to have to sacrifice maybe 20 or so %. I'm not sure how much they will take off. Nobody is, and we don't actually know if they will do that. But it's the sign of the times changing, really. If you do take a look at the world we live in today in the games world, you do notice that they do want to keep creating content further and further and further down the line. Look at the most recent Borderlands game. Rather than just going, this is Borderlands, here's your story, enjoy it. We may tack on some online stuff. They said, no, what we are going to do is actually bring a content plan. Same thing with Rage, the new Rage game, and I think that's actually what I was thinking of. I mix up Rage and Borderlands all the time, but you know what I mean. So rather than actually just bringing out a game and having a story and having the game really popular for a week, what they want to do is have a content plan for the next 12 to 24 months and go, this is what you're going to get. And that, I think, is a better way to keep gamers interested and build an actual community and build that name of the game much bigger than it ever was, because people will keep it relevant through that content plan. Now, obviously, that means that the story, the initial story of GTA 6, if it does go this way, will be shorter. It is sort of sad news. So it kind of sucks that this is happening. But at the same time, if they do deliver even more content than they would originally, I think it's sort of a win-win. So it's a bit of a silver lining right there. You got to look on the bright side of things. Always look for the positive in life. So let me know what you guys think regarding that. Is it sad news, or is it a good thing if they end up actually creating more? If they were to just go down the line of actually creating online content, where it's GTA Online style stuff, where it's like, here's some missions to play with your friends that don't really have any story. They're just kind of tacked on. That'll kind of be disappointing, and I would be disappointed with that. I'm pretty sure most of you guys would, because as awesome as GTA Online is, I wouldn't mind seeing some amazing storyline DLC that's a completely different world and a completely different feel in Los Santos, but with new characters and new adventures that are really deep and powerful and moving. So something like Ballad of Gay Tony or something like The Lost and Damned would be amazing. So yeah, let me know again in the comments down below. But we do have some more news regarding Take-Two Interactive and the CEO Strauss Zelnick and GTA 6, because it looks like GTA 6 may be coming out sooner than expected. So in the exact same interview, Strauss Zelnick actually talked about sort of the release of the game. He said that he doesn't see the gap between the games expanding further. In fact, he would expect that in many instances it would compress. On top of that, he stated that he thinks that 8 years is probably too long between GTA games, and that's pretty much what he talked about right there. It's not too much, but it's actually interesting to hear that. If you haven't seen my video on GTA 6 and why it's actually not coming out yet, you guys should probably check that out for a further deep dive. It's actually really complex and interesting as to why we haven't gotten this game just yet. It involves Red Dead 2, obviously, but it also involves people that have worked at Rockstar Games in the past, things that are going on behind the scenes. But the thing is, it's good to hear this from the CEO of the parent company of Rockstar Games, Take-Two Interactive, and to hear this coming from them is actually really good news, because that means that we probably won't have to wait as long as we thought, and maybe with the change in social media and just the world we live in today compared to when GTA 5 was launching, we may not have to wait so long between the initial trailer and then the actual trailer, and then the release of the game. So we don't know, but it would be pretty crazy if they just decided to drop it in 2020 for the brand new consoles. I highly doubt that, but maybe September of 2021 we could get something on the new consoles, on the PS5 and the next Xbox console. That would be pretty cool, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'll let you guys know if we do find out more GTA 6 related news. But now, enough of that, because we do have some more gaming news in today's video. And the first piece of other gaming news is that if you're looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077, well, the developers of the game have sort of teased that it will get a Witcher 3 style expansions. So if you've played The Witcher 3, you know that there are expansions to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Basically, it just went on from launch, similar to what I was talking about before, how the content plan continued and there was more stuff to the story. And basically, Cyberpunk 2077 will be releasing in April 2020, but the developer, CD Projekt Red, have actually stated that the game will get more stuff along the way after that, similar to what we saw in The Witcher 3. Now, what's interesting is that they also stated that they won't be cutting out anything, they won't be simplifying the game, they won't be withholding anything from the get-go, from the initial release of the game, but later on down the line, they'll be adding more stuff in addition to what we get. So don't worry, you will get the full experience. It will be The Witcher 3, it will be what you wanted, but later on, they're going to work on even more stuff for the game. I think I said The Witcher 3, I meant Cyberpunk 2077. So it will be Cyberpunk 2077, the full game when it comes out. but then later on, you will get more additional stuff. So that's awesome that they're doing that. That's cool to hear from CD Projekt Red, and I'm just really, really excited for this game. I'm trying to keep my hype down, and I'm trying to not think about this game every day. From what we've seen, it looks amazing, but I just don't want to get that hype too hype because, well, you know what that does. You end up getting disappointed. It's just the reality of the situation in the world we live in. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next piece of gaming news. This is sort of a two-piece story right here for all Halo fans out there. And the first piece of news regarding Halo is that Halo Reach PC beta is starting next week. We finally received an official start time as to when Halo Reach will be available on PC. Developer 343 Industries has stated that you will need to be part of the Halo Insider program, so make sure to sign up for that, but it will be available next week. They haven't exactly said when, but it's definitely next week, because we actually didn't know at any stage when it would be coming. We knew it was around this time of the year sometime, but there was no official stuff or anything like that. But it's cool to hear from 343 Industries that it is 100% happening next week. So look out for that if you are a Halo fan wanting to play Halo Reach on the PC. Now, on top of that, there is some more beta news, but this is actually for Halo Infinite. So this is the new Halo game coming out next year, and it's going to be the launch title for the next Xbox console. Well, we've got some cool news regarding Halo Infinite. It's beta. It's going to be coming first to Xbox because it will also be available on PC, I'm pretty sure. But then there's going to be split screen and a lot more. The thing to note down about Halo Infinite's beta is that it will be played on Xbox One. However, the game will be a next-gen launch title, but it's also going to be on PC and Xbox One and Xbox One X. So it's going to be on 4 devices technically, which is just awesome right there. I'll definitely keep you guys up to date when we do find out more information regarding this. I actually can't wait to play it. It just looks awesome. I really don't necessarily care too much about the online portion of the game. Sure, it's going to be fun to play with your friends and just have a good time, classic Halo moments, but I think it really comes down to the story. Just seeing Chief in that natural green armor, that classic style, I think that in that trailer that we saw at E3 just a couple of weeks ago, that's what really got me wanting to play Halo Infinite, because we knew it was coming and I was like, oh, sure, another Halo game. But this one looks like it's going to be a true Halo game, back to its roots. So right there, that's awesome. Anyway, that's it for Halo news right there. We do have one final gaming news report to get to today. It's more Microsoft related and Xbox exclusive related news, and it's about Gears 5. So this is just a really quick final news report here. So Gears of War 5 will have no season passes and no loot boxes in the game. This was revealed through a blog post on the official Gears 5 website, and it put an emphasis on creating a player-first experience, and it's been confirmed that DLC maps for the game will all be free in both matchmaking and private play, and it means that you won't have to be excluded from your friends if they have a certain map or they don't have a map, and I think that's just awesome right there. And on top of that, the game is actually going to focus a lot more on earning your content, unlocking stuff, and I think that's great right there, especially if you're a hardcore gamer in this game specifically. If you're a massive fan of the Gears franchise and you get really good at it, or you just spend a lot of hours on it, and that's the way you get your stuff and that's the way you earn your content, I think right there, that's just awesome, and that's the traditional way of gaming, and I think they've got it right. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. You guys know I'm a massive Gears fan, or you maybe know, I don't know, like, I don't talk about the game enough. Like, I grew up on that game, I've been playing that game for over a decade, and yeah, it's just in my blood. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's gaming news. If you did, make sure you smack the like button, also subscribe with the notification on if you do want to get more videos from me. And yeah, that does it for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.